they have to sustain their line of profits. Who is the consumer? And in the short run, 6 months to 1 year, there won't be large scale projects that the banks will be wanting to fund. Now look at the projects, the Cristals, the Cinnamon Life, even the Port City. Amount of money that has gone into it, and then when is it going to pay you the returns? See, if somebody sits down and does a SWOT analysis for the country. I mean, this is, when tsunami came, it's something like that. But we should be, somebody in the government should be sitting and doing a SWOT analysis to say, what are my opportunities, right? How do I come out? So a bank should do the same, and you keep coming back to banks' responsibility as funding associations. Don't forget that they have public money. I'm not talking about public money. I'm talking about the reserves. But it is stakeholder funds. But this is where stakeholders need to come up and say, it is not about saving an industry or a company within the industry. It is not about saving a district or a particular section of people in the district. It is about saving the country. It's about one and all for us. That's the scenario. To me, the way you look at recession is the time to let go and then cushion the needs and then make sure you build the economy. Otherwise, Rohan, you will anyway deplete your reserves. What's the point in having large reserves in a bank and laying off people?
Makes sense.
Right? We are not realizing the impact on our transport workers, our railway, our government transportation, our government machinery, vegetables. See, the food will get challenged. I mean, the food distribution. There has to be national security. There has to be health security. There has to be food security. There has to be energy security. I mean, these are things that and health. The 5 things that become fundamentals in recession.
Yeah, because it's a very interesting vicious cycle, Bradley, that I feel we are in, right? I mean, today most of the organization, the problem is they have services to sell, but nobody's willing to buy because everybody wants to hang on to the cash. So everybody's don't want to pay anything out, even for things they would have bought otherwise, because they don't want the money to go out, because cash is supposed to be king, queen and everything right now. And everybody, and as a result, today what's happening is that even the people now, for example, a lot of small companies, in my understanding, is the fact that they have a lot of money with them. It's just that collections are really hard because nobody wants to give out money right now, and as a result, that is where most of the small businesses are struggling. It's not because they don't have the money, they just don't have the money in cash right now in the bank account to pay the salaries, because the customers or whoever are not willing to pay on time, or they are giving excuses in curfew or whatever it is and not paying. I mean, not excuses, I'm sure there's a truth behind it. So we are in a vicious cycle right now. So all what you're saying I agree with, but how do you think we can, do you think we can break this cycle? Because that's where the economy, as you said, purchasing starts happening, right?
Yeah, so you have to infuse. How did they come out of the 2008 financial crisis?
Because
billions of dollars were pumped into the financial system. Billions of dollars. Right? That is how they came back. So you have to infuse.
Yeah.
So where will that come? It's
from the reserves.
Going back to basics. See, you talked about lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle has come down to essentials.
Yeah. Bare minimums.
Today, economically disconnected.
Yeah.
We are economically disconnected. Right. So how do we live when economically disconnected? We hold on to our cash. We put it on absolute necessities. There is no entertainment. There is no luxury.
Yeah.
So can the country do this? Can the country do this? Your lockdown, our lockdown situation is an economic disengagement, isn't it? So just take a hypothesis of that, and hypothetically, if you compare this to a national situation, and we are going to get isolated, because look at India and America. India has stopped exporting medicine, and you guys are pleading for medicine. His priority is looking after his own people.
Yeah. No,
right? So
it
that's
has to
what
be,
I
right?
first said. Countries have to first. We have to fight this together. To do that, we have to survive. So the immediate focus on a recession, in a global recession of this scale, which is yet to come, we still don't know yet,
Yeah.
is
That's what I
to
was going to ask you.
ensure
Yeah.
the individual unit survives
Yeah.
as a nation. So that's where in my layman's view, is the focus of the policymakers and the corporate leaders to come into how do we make more. That's my line. How do we make more of our country?
Yeah. I mean, Bradley, I mean, I know we can talk for hours, and just for the benefit of making
Yeah, we
sure.
can go on and on.
There's so much, and I want to do a follow up, another video with you, but for the benefit of today's kind of session, I want to ask you 3 questions to wrap up. The first question: you are a you know businesses. What's your advice to small and medium sized business, not the big boys? Who are going to be the winners? Who are going to be the losers? What industries? What do you think a small
See,
business owner should do?
Rohan, the advantage of a small business is they're nimble and they
Yeah.
can maneuver,
Yep. Correct. Yeah.
right? So, in a situation like this, they need to look at what is available. Instead of hanging on to what worked for them, you need to let that go and then start afresh and look at what is that I can do. I mean, look at the small vendors. I mean, they have found a way to bring the coconut to your doorstep.
Yeah. Those
Right.
are the winners, right?
Right. Those are the winners. I mean, end of the day,
Yeah.
instead of saying what I can't do anything, convert that question to what is that I can do, because they are small, they're nimble,
Yeah.
they can maneuver. They don't have large overheads. They don't have historicals. They could get out and do something else. I mean, if Apple can make masks,